Sonic X Comic Issue 17. We start out seeing that Cheese became green because he spent all morning with Sonic. But then Tails says that the greenish color is only temporary. Do you want to have a game reference or not, Flynn? On the bright side, I shouldn't complain about originality. We don't see Chow very often in Sonic comics, and I'd rather see them in interesting new ways, but it just doesn't make any logical sense that it would be temporary. Cream says that because all Chow acquires some traits of what they're exposed to, Cheese is so polite because he's spent his whole life with her. I like that, but how far does that go? If he spent a lot of time with a water bottle, would he look like one? And it's St. Patrick's Day, so Amy threatens to pinch Sonic for not wearing green. That was rude. That looked uncharacteristically mean of her, just for a failed attempt at a joke. And to think she was being mostly nice and well-behaved last issue. Speaking as a Canadian, I don't even remember when St. Patrick's Day is. And I certainly don't remember anyone pinching anyone for not wearing green, or people wearing green all the time. I think it's in April or March. How does he not recognize holidays? How does he not know what one is? Why would Mobius be like that? Eggman's told about the myth that catching a leprechaun will give him a pot of gold, so he becomes wrong genre savvy and tries to go after one. I mean, Eggman's used to living in a world full of magic. Why wouldn't he believe in leprechauns? But still, this makes him look very stupid compared to Sonic Underground Eggman, who knew that it was a myth right away and decided to trick people with a fake leprechaun. Because Bokoon had green paint dumped on him by the wind, Eggman just assumes Bokoon's a leprechaun when he looks absolutely nothing like one with no orange beard at all. He even calls Eggman boss. He should know that that's his voice, and even one of his robots knows it's Bokoon. This is just throwing him to a complete idiot for the sake of a joke. Obviously, this doesn't work nearly as well as in Sonic Underground, where Robotnik was a good villain because he tricked people with fake leprechaun. This is hardly a proper villain. Bokoon tells Sonic he's gotta protect him from Eggman because he's gone crazy. The heroes are caught in green searchlights coming from balloons, and I think that's actually a giant Eggman mecha that looks like a leprechaun. Cheese flies away all panicked as the heroes fight off robots, and Bokoon tells the badniks to stay away from him and says he'll never take him alive, using some bombs to damage a leprechaun float. He'd make a better hero than a villain because he's so cute and endearing, and all he does as a villain is, well, he does successfully blow people up with bombs. Somehow those bombs just cover people in soot and are completely harmless. So he kind of sucks at being a villain. In the comic, I don't think he even does anything. At least right now, anyways. So yeah, like, he would be like Bean. If the writer had any guts, then he would be a hero. Sonic briefly looks scared before spin dashing at the leprechaun mecha, and because Cream flew around with Cheese, it offset his green color. Sonic slips on the watery surface of the leprechaun mecha, which Eggman is personally piloting, and it grabs Sonic. It'd be amusing if Eggman's plan was to pinch everyone who wasn't wearing green, but that'd be way too small time and pointless for Robotnik. But it would make sense for an evil plan, I guess. He could use it to, like, scare people. Chris tells Eggman about the myth that pots of gold are at the end of a rainbow when there's one near him, causing Eggman to let go of Sonic. Why would he do that instead of carrying him with him while running the mecha towards the rainbow? Why? Oh, I think Sonic's friends are apologizing to him because they couldn't destroy the mecha before it would fly away. You'd think Bokoon's bombs would blow it up. Bokoon says thanks for nothing because the rain washed him clean of green paint. And he flies away calling them losers, much to my disappointment. I mean, it would be too easy for him to decide to turn on Eggman after all the times he supported his crazy plans just because of this one. Was I supposed to believe that the chemicals of the green paint on him were affecting his programming in just the right way to break him free of Eggman's control, but not in a way that would hinder him completely? Then Amy tries to pinch Sonic again. Making characters abusive for the sake of a joke isn't funny. It's comedic sociopathy, like Family Guy or SpongeBob. This issue was by Ian Flynn. It was about Eggman being wrong genre savvy on St. Patrick's Day because he decides to go after Leprechaun. Well, what's extremely stupid that he thought Bo-kun was one when Bo-kun clearly explained what happened to him and called him boss and had his shape and voice the way it normally was. Seriously, this makes Sonic Underground look much better written. Ultimately, the extremely forced contrivedness led to something positive that made it worth it. Bo-kun threw some bombs at Eggman's mecha, acting like he had turned on Eggman because he turned crazy. But then he just goes back to him afterwards, just because he got rid of the green paint on him. We got to see a brief glimpse of how cool it'd be if he joined Sonic. But Flynn didn't have the guts to make that permanent, even if it would be too easy. And I can forgive that. After all, I forgave the fact that Julie Sue joined Knuckles way too easily, and I could even forgive Linda's kind of redemption in 25 years later, because we can assume a lot of time has passed, and thus we missed a character arc for her. The plot was that Eggman sent mechas and robots shaped like leprechauns after the heroes, and as usual for Sonic X, the tension of the action scene was written really well because Sonic got grabbed by the mecha and made helpless by it after a while of fighting it. And Chris was the surprising Chekhov's gunman by tricking Eggman with his knowledge of earthly myths. Having a Sonic story themed around an Earth holiday reminded me of SEC Online, which was good. I hope we see the Leprechaun mecha again next issue and it gets defeated properly, because it'd be really lame negative continuity for a comic book if it disappeared for no reason, just because the next issue isn't on St. Patrick's Day anymore. It was good. I just hate that Amy was uncharacteristically evil and vicious just for the sake of a joke. It's comedic sociopathy. It sounds harsh when talking about pinching, but would you want someone to pinch you?